What's up, traders? I am Vincent Mokoteli from Vinboard Signal Factory. This is not a financial advice. It's powerful education for those ready to level up. With the right mindset and real strategy, success is within your reach. Welcome to Vinboard Signal Factory, where signals meet success. So traders, with the euro dollar today, what we have is, let's first recap what happened yesterday. Of course, what did happen yesterday, we did mention that this was not a break to the upside on Monday. It was rather a test of the new high, making a new high of the current week. And then we started having a consolidation, a pullback again. And I did mention that I do not expect to see this go up, but if it does go up, I would look for buying opportunities to go like this. But there came a move that was stronger than I expected. So I did not trade yesterday. We did not trade, of course, because of this strong momentum to the downside. Now, with this strong momentum to the downside, what happened is we had a reaction right at the second demand zone yesterday to the upside. What I was expecting is to see this, and then maybe tomorrow, today early in the morning, a continuation to the upside. But what I still see, given the current market structure, is that we are testing the second demand zone. That is why we have a buy stop right here, waiting to activate as soon as price reaches this, and then a stop loss to reach our intended target. I'm still biased to the upside. The past few weeks has been, it has been 2.5 weeks now. The market has been consolidating without any clear direction. You can see even for yourself. If you do not understand what I mean by consolidation, what I mean is strong momentum to the upside, strong momentum to the downside, strong momentum to the upside, strong momentum to the downside, strong again to the upside, and strong again to the downside, strong again to the upside, strong again to the downside. Now this is consolidation. There is no clear direction, but luckily enough, we have stepped into September. So with that being said, it's going to turn things around for traders in the market. September is a good month, and I did mention in the beginning of August, if you follow us on a daily basis, that August is not really a good month for traders to be in the market. I think our buy stop is now active. This is what we should be looking for, and continuation to the upside. Without wasting time analyzing what really happened the past 2 days, let's go over to the pound and dollar. And traders, what we were expecting yesterday with the pound and the US dollar, I was expecting to see more of a pullback that would retest the first and second demand zone, but the sharp strength in the dollar came in as a surprise to me and the rest of the traders, because there was no real catalyst. I don't think the inflation numbers that came out with the euro was the reason behind this, because this happened an hour before the release of the inflation, even though I still think that the inflation numbers is still within what the Fed of the ECB is expecting. I still think it is within the margin. It was, I don't know. What I do think is this is still part of the consolidation that I've mentioned on the euro and the dollar. And with that being said, it is something else to look for going into this. Now, since yesterday we did not break, we went straight through even our weekly break of structure, of course, to the downside. This would have looked like a selling opportunities, but we did not go for it. It was not enough to make any trader move into the market. But since the past few weeks have been filled with consolidation, even this was a structure to the downside, you remember. But as soon as the Fed came out and said the rate expectation cutting rates is more imminent in September, we did have this strong move to the upside, and then a stronger pullback, which is deeper It did allow us to go to the upside, of course, but after going to the upside, it didn't maintain a bullish stand. Look at this deeper pullback. Now, do I want to see myself buying this or selling this? This is not clear right now. And one thing you should learn from me is that when a pair is not clear, even if you're forced to trade it, you have to cut on you have to half down your risk. Okay, maybe if you are used to risking let's say $100 per trade, you would have to come down and cut it in half, maybe $50 per trade. It will make you come down, because this is not clear at this moment. I'm still structured to the downside with the dollar, but since the pound also is now structured to the downside, we do not want to assume that this would happen just easily. So we would wait for a breakout, a pullback, look for buying opportunities, of course, and then a continuation to the downside, to the upside. But if we do this, then we make a new low, then from next week we will look for selling opportunities again in the pound. So without wasting time, this is the pound and the US dollar for me. I do want to see what the euro and the Canadian dollar have in store for us. So traders with the euro and the Canadian dollar, from last week we did mention that we are structured to the downside and we are not looking for any buying opportunities, of course, and we did enter on Monday. And I do remember telling you that after this we are going to have a small pullback and then a continuation to the downside. But since the euro fell much stronger in opposition of the strength of the dollar yesterday, we did manage to take out our profit. This was close to 1:5.37. This was the new low take profit, not the 1:3 risk to reward ratio. This was not the 1:3 risk to reward ratio. This was the new low target profit. So we do know how to structure this with the real account traders community, of course, but this is a fantastic setup going into yesterday when we did take profit. So as you all know, after you take profit on one pair, we don't want to touch it again until next week. We're waiting for a more clear structure. Now, without wasting further time, and that's it. So with the euro and the pound, what do we have in store? We have the same analysis as last week. I want us to pay close attention. Remember, it was at this week where I did mention that it was at this week, the week of 18 August to the 22nd of August. We can go back to the videos and recheck what I'm saying, if what I did say this, or if what I said is still playing out. I did mention that from this week, we do have a bullish structure to the upside, and we are no longer looking for sales, and we have been looking for sales for quite some time, if you remember with us, of course. So with that being said, traders, I did mention we did win the previous week with this one. We did have a deeper pullback. The invalidations were here, of course, and we did enter, and then after this, boom, we did make that true wave on Thursday and Friday, and it was a fantastic move to the upside. Now, this week again, I did mention that we are going to buy this, and everything went exactly as I did say. Let's zoom in a little bit to see what I mean by everything went exactly. If you were watching yesterday's video on the euro and the pound, you will understand that yesterday, after this bullish structure, I did mention that we might come and retest this and then a continuation to the upside, and this was a fantastic setup to the upside, which led us to make 1:4.2 risk to reward ratio yesterday with the real account traders community. Now, if you're not with us, the real account traders community, it is easy to do, and it's easy and cheap to join. You don't pay anyone else your money for now. what you still can do is register under our broker link, fund $100, and you get all the trading courses, the strategies, the trading signals of all currency pairs, not only the YouTube watch list, which contains only 6 currency pairs that are analyzed on a daily basis, and not only the London session analysis, but together mixed with the New York session and occasionally some of the Tokyo session in the morning. So without wasting further time, this is the euro and the pound for us, and what do I expect going into this week? I expect to stay out of the market, of course. And with that being said, this is what happened this week. I'm out of this, even if I see this as a possibility coming down to retest last week's new high, which will act now as the demand zone for buying opportunities, of course. And then this is still another wave to the upside. But if we do not come and then the structure becomes a complex one, you would rather not trade this one. So you already know, once I'm done trading a pair, I do not go back with it or analyze it. So tomorrow I will not be trading or analyzing the euro and the Canadian dollar, the pound and the Canadian dollar, and all together with the euro and the pound. The only pairs that are still left in our arsenal are the euro and the dollar, the pound and the dollar, and let's go over right now to check the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. And with the dollar and the Canadian dollar from last week, we did have fantastic sales around this area, and this is where we took profit on Thursday, of course. And then from last week, I did mention that a pullback is imminent. We did test the first demand zone, nearly took out the second demand zone, but what I can tell you right now is I'm still structured to the downside, even though this trade from yesterday is still slow. So if we do get stopped out, of course, we did not break even with this one because of multiple reasons that we share with the real traders community. Not every trade that you are into deserves a break even. Not every trade that you're into you gotta let it go to your stop loss. There are fundamentals and insights that we do share with the real account traders community. So with that being said, guys, if we do get stopped out here, this is the second place, the demand zone, because as you can see, it is not reached fully the second demand zone at 1.3815. This is the second place that we'll be looking for selling opportunities. If we do reach that, it will be a fantastic place to look for shorts and to continue making our new low at 1.3725. This is a fantastic setup going into this week. And if we do not occasionally, or roughly, if we do not come and take out our second supply zone, a continuation to the downside will be a fantastic place for me to look for new lows and a take profit to the downside. With that being said, this is us for the entire week, and thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you make sure you don't miss any of the daily updates as they are released, to catch and understand the market inside fully throughout the day. Thanks and happy trading from me and everyone else.